Alright, so I decided to take a break from watching Connor Croft chase tornadoes to make a Bitcoin update. So let's go over pretty much what has happened since my last video. I'll quickly recap what I was looking at last time. I was looking at this red box here as very important resistance for us. This is an area where we got some value area lows coming in across different exchanges. On Binance, the value area low is right here. It's at the low end of the box. And on Bybit, the value area low is coming in around 64K. So we got a little box of resistance, and price has come pretty close to it. If you update the fixed range poll, you'll see something interesting. On Binance, the point of control actually moves into our box. So yeah, before it was somewhere way up here. And even looking at it here, you can see the high volume node starting to form right here. So I guess as we adjust it, the point of control moves down, gives us a little bit more confluence to this box. And price still has not hit this box yet. We came very close. We started forming a local range here, pretty much right underneath value area low, but we did not hit it yet. And I am still looking at potentially getting a move up into this box before finding resistance and then maybe moving lower, maybe putting in a significant lower high in this area. But right now, price is losing its local range to the downside. We just broke bearishly out of this smaller range. So maybe there's a chance we don't even retest this box. We might front run it and then just end up going lower without hitting that area, without really giving a good opportunity for this higher time frame short. And making it so that, really the only way to be short is by shorting the local range context. I'm sure a lot of people are looking at the value area low right now and kind of waiting for that. So now let's take a look at market ciphers. So I don't think anything changed on the weekly. It really hasn't. So let's start off on the daily time frame. Now here we did see momentum bottom out. We got a BitBoy green dot down here, a very thick anchor wave. And this was, making me think there is a chance that we end up front running this very important range point, the range low. When you see momentum this overextended, there's a good chance that, price doesn't have to go much lower. Now it can. You can see price maybe like hesitate in these scenarios while momentum comes up a little bit, and then you see that move down, and you actually form divergences as you get that next move down. But sometimes these very thick anchor waves, these very oversold waves, can actually mark the bottom. And typically, you would want to see lower time frame confirmations to kind of back that up. In this case, we didn't see that. We didn't see really any good-looking divergences on like the 4-hour through the 1-hour. Basically, momentum put in its lowest point as price put in its lowest point. Money flow basically the same. So it's making me think it's less likely that we're actually going to front run this level with this very oversold wave. Just because we don't have lower time frame confirmations really pointing to this being a significant low. And so far, the follow through in terms of this momentum wave is looking pretty poor. We're already starting to see the VWAP start to curve back to the downside. Really zooming in on this momentum wave, you can see even this has an outwards curving direction where it's starting to curve away from the zero line rather than curving up towards it. So it's looking like, there's a chance that we might just print a red dot in the short term here and then continue lower. Money flow also appears to be kind of struggling. It started to move to the upside. Now it's starting to flatten out, potentially getting ready to curl over again. Now looking at the 4-hour. So we did have, a bit of direction following the significant low. We had an anchor wave. Price obviously got a pretty significant bounce from that low. And price, formed a trigger wave showing some direction to the upside with momentum. We even saw money flow start to turn to the upside a little bit as price started to range here. But, now what we've seen is price put in a lower low, break the range to the downside, and we are starting to see momentum fall to the downside, and it looks like it just barely put in a lower low. I put a horizontal line on the low end of that momentum wave. We did come a little bit lower, and it does not look like this momentum wave is close to bottoming out, so it will likely move farther to the downside and basically put in a lower low with momentum. We're starting to see money flow curve to the downside again as well, as price is breaking its local range bearishly. So it seems like the 4-hour is also kind of starting to flop over to the downside. Also, almost forgot to mention, very important, we got a trigger wave, a very tight trigger wave on the 4-hour as we basically made this attempt up towards the range high. I think, this would have been a really good opportunity right here to take out the range high into at least the Binance value area low And then if that happened, I would have been a little bit more confident to say that there's a good chance this is a local high. But the fact that we front ran not only this range high, the local range high, but also we didn't hit the value area low yet, makes me a little skeptical, and kind of makes me think that maybe we kind of end up in this larger range and eventually we end up taking out that range high before going lower, just because we haven't really hit the significant area that I wanted to yet. But we can front run it. I'm well aware of that. We have been doing a lot of front running overall in this larger range since all-time highs, so if that's the pattern, then I definitely have to consider the possibility that we front run value area low as well. And just quickly clicking through these other time frames on the 3-hour, momentum putting in a lower low. 2 hours, same thing. Money flow, kind of just going flat in the red. It looks like, it may be trying to work its way to the downside with this little, downtrend. At least, it's putting in lower highs. It's not really able to break lower. But on this 1 hour, it does look like momentum is trying to bottom out here locally. So we can check the lower time frames and see how confident we are in that. So on the 30-minute, we see money flow putting in lower lows. That definitely, is not a good sign for a bounce, at least not a sustained one. Maybe we see momentum come up a little bit before moving lower. Maybe we just see price get a little retracement, maybe rejecting from value area low here before moving lower. Pretty much the same thing on the 15 minutes. We're not seeing any divergences. Momentum put in a lower low, money flow put in a lower low. So, it seems like if anything, this 1 hour bottoming out is likely to be more of a temporary thing, at least based on market cipher. There's a chance that it does end up actually bringing us back up into this range and giving us an actual rotation. Sure, that's possible, but I think it looks more likely that it's just going to be like a temporary bounce. And, with the higher time frames kind of backing up that idea, I'm more confident in saying that I think it's probably like, 65-35 right now, 65% chance that, we just get a temporary bounce here. So because of that, I am actually potentially interested in some short ideas here if price actually does start bouncing on the short term. By the time I upload this video, we may have already gotten a move up to some of my areas of interest, but, right now I'm kind of looking at the value area low. I don't really want to rotate much farther into this range, if I'm being honest. If we do, I'd want to see a more confident local confirmation for me to be looking for shorts. We still could put in a higher low somewhere like pretty high up in this range, maybe somewhere around point of control and daily open. We got a bit of confluence there. That looks like it's probably going to be the golden pocket 786 area as well. And why guess when I can just check. So yeah, it is. We got confluence there. Even pulling it from the range high is basically going to be the same. And I think either way, I'd want to see local confirmations, but, if we get a move up and start, like, wicking away from value area low, and it seems like things are turning over on market cipher again, that may be enough for me. I don't think I really need to see, great local confirmations here, but if we start reclaiming value area low, then I think I want to see better confirmations, such as market cipher divergences locally as we get a move up to a key area, followed by market structure breaking in our favor, and maybe some other confluences that you can find. And other than that, my higher time frame stuff is still the same. I'm still looking at this red box for resistance. In terms of significant support, right now this is the most significant. I think this low is also significant considering the bounce that we got from it. We could just SFP this more local range low and just continue ranging in here. So, why wait for this to be hit when there's potentially trade opportunities elsewhere? And I think that's pretty much it in terms of what I'm watching. So one more thing I do want to mention. Market Cipher, my favorite indicator, an indicator that I've been using for over 3 years at this point, or just about 3 years. They're having a sale right now, a 25% off sale if you use the code PLATINUM. Shout out Platinum Mike Perry. I was a fan of this guy before. He was affiliated with Market Cipher, and when I found out that CryptoFace and Market Cipher were picking him up and sponsoring him, that was music to my ears. I don't think they could have picked someone better to represent Market Cipher. Shout out Mike Perry. And if you are planning on using this, I do believe that you can use this code with my referral link, which is in the description of my videos. So that would support my channel, and you should still be able to use this code. Just type that in whenever you go to pay or whatever. So that's all I wanted to say. Just a little bit of a shill there. Shout out everyone that has used my referral link in the past. I have had a few people use it, and shout out to you. I really appreciate the support. And I also appreciate all the support on my videos. Thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a comment. All that helps to support the channel, and I do appreciate it a ton. And I will see you all in the next video.